So to start off, could you give me your name, your age, and your place of birth, please?
Sure. My name is Kevin Carr. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm 61 years old, and I live in Glendale, Wisconsin.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit about your job history before starting at the Department of Corrections.
Well, I've been in law enforcement for 39 years. I spent my first 30 years in law enforcement at the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, where I held nearly every rank in the agency except for sheriff. My last 8 years, I was the second in command under Sheriff David A. Clark Jr., and I ran the day-to-day operations of the agency. In 2010, I was appointed to the position of U.S. Marshal by President Barack Obama.
And education. Tell me about your college.
I went to, I have a degree, a bachelor's degree in criminal justice management from Concordia University in Mequon. I also have an associate's degree in criminal justice. I've attended executive law enforcement management courses at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia, and Northwestern University, and I've attended some postgraduate work at Harvard.
How did those opportunities, I guess, post-grad come about?
Well, the opportunities for post-grad came about through the agency that I was working for, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. I was selected by the sheriff at the various times to attend those law enforcement management courses based on my performance and potential for promotion. And the courses at Harvard were courses that, one, Sheriff Clark recommended that I take, and two, being the second in command, there were other courses that I felt I could learn a lot from simply by taking those courses, like leadership. Was one of the courses that I took there that I really got a lot out of, as well as driving government performance. That was a class that taught state and local executives how to get the maximum value out of public agencies.
Perfect. Tell me a little bit about your family.
Well, I'm married. My wife and I met in 1977, and we've been together ever since. I have two children, Andrew and Marissa. They're both college graduates. They're grown, and they're living on their own. And I unfortunately don't have any grandchildren yet, but that'll come whenever the good Lord wills it.
Favorite non-work interests?
My favorite non-work interests start with some of my volunteer activities, like I like to serve at the St. Ben's Meal Program in Milwaukee. I love to fish. I love to work in my yard and garden. I love to read, and sporting events of any kind, whether watching them in person or on television, is something that I like to do.
Who are your teams?
Well, of course, being a Wisconsinite, the Green Bay Packers are probably my first love. The Milwaukee Brewers. My wife and I are big Milwaukee Brewer baseball fans, and of course the Milwaukee Bucks, who are doing really well this season.
Perfect. All right, so let's kind of switch gears and kind of talk about the Evers administration. Can you tell me, why were you interested in joining the administration?
What really interests me about joining this administration is the governor's vision of a Wisconsin for all. I believe that his vision for this state to improve health care, criminal justice reforms, infrastructure for everyone in this state is exactly just what this state needs at this particular time. The governor is an inspirational leader, and his view of what criminal justice can look like in this state is very compatible with mine.
What are the priorities for the agency under your direction?
The priorities for the Department of Corrections and and my vision for this agency is for us to improve the outcomes that we achieve by improving the level of reentry services that we provide, drug treatment, mental health services, job training, and wraparound services to those in our care that are being supervised in the community. I believe that can have a significant impact on reducing recidivism and lowering the population of those we care for in our facilities. I also believe that there are other strategies that we can implement that have been proven successful around the country in reducing the overall prisoner population in our facilities. There are states like Texas, for instance, that have implemented criminal justice reform that resulted in them closing several prisons in the last couple of years, reducing their population of persons in custody, improving the crime rate, and improving the outcomes of those who are under supervision in their state. So if there's a way that we can lower our population, reduce our costs, and get better outcomes, that is something I think everybody can get behind in this state.
Now, I know you've only been in this position for a short amount of time, but have you noticed anything yet in terms of the department that you think you could be done either differently or perhaps better?
I'm very proud of the people that work in this organization, and I think that there's a number of things that they've been doing right that the public just is not aware of. I think we can do a much better job of promoting the things that are going on in this agency that are extremely positive, that are untold stories. That's one thing that I'd really like to do differently.
Best advice you've gotten since getting the job?
Trust your instincts.
Worst advice you've gotten since getting the job?
Why did you take that job? Don't take it.
All right. Thank you very much for the time, sir. That's it for this portion of the interview. So thank you for sitting down with me.